Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 20 of Sorry We're Closed. We are now at 20 episodes, which is pretty good. And I've only missed one. If you know me at all, that's pretty impressive. However, my Anchor, I record these and then put them onto Anchor, so the Anchor's kind of a distributing platform to put it out and all these different things. And they're messing up my listens. They all of a sudden I'm like 400 listens down than I was before. Like, it's a whole thing. So now it's not super accurate information anymore. So guess we're done with that. But welcome back. I've been talking a lot about Green Rock and what it takes to run that place, especially during a pandemic and all of that jazz. And I figured I never really told you guys exactly what it's like at the sushi restaurant. So the sushi restaurant is named SAKU, S-A-K-U, and it's more of a high-end place, right? So it's, if you go there, I would, if I'm you, I expect to spend $50 for myself when you go there. It's more of like an atmosphere place as far as the dinner. The servers are, supposed to be more well-trained, supposed to be, around you a lot, those things. The cocktail menu is fantastic. The sushi is tremendous. We got this guy in there, we call him Chef Eddie. And Eddie is a tremendous chef. He costs a good amount of money, but he is a tremendous sushi chef. That's tough to say. And I've heard of people coming from the city just to eat sushi there. I've heard such good and glowing reviews. It's worth it. It's a great place. And they were able to do much better during a pandemic than a Green Rock was. Green Rock, we're going to make our money Friday, Saturday nights, and Sunday during the day in football season, right? A restaurant, a bad day at SAKU is going to be much different than a bad day at Green Rock. So it's just different. Once outdoor dining happened in Hoboken and New Jersey, SAKU did fine. We were fine. Green Rock, on the other hand, it barely even moved the needle for us. So a very different type of place. But back in 2018, I believe it was late April, early May, the Seattle Mariners released Patty Westside from their organization, and I definitely tried to keep going. When I got home, I definitely threw. I had like a very minor form of the yips. It wasn't that I was missing horribly, except for my last game. My last game was brutal, but except for the last game, it wasn't. I was really missing, by inches. Definitely, you're missing, considerable margins, but I was never like thrown into the backstop and stuff. So it was a form of the yips, and I thought that if I threw by myself, I would be okay, right? I would do fine, and I'd be able to do it. So I tried that. I tried that for a while. It didn't work out. I was kind of over it, ready to move on. But 2 months, maybe even less than that, after getting out of baseball, my buddy Danny calls me and asks me to go into the sushi restaurant with him. So I was like, that's fantastic. That's a cool little place. And I've been wanting to. He did such a great job at this other restaurant. He's also a partner with me at Green Rock. He's been a partner there for a number of years, and he did such a fantastic job at this place called Grand Vin in Hoboken. I was like, if you ever did another restaurant, please let me know. I said, okay. So we did this sushi restaurant, and on the first day, the first day or so of them being open, obviously I went and ate. I wasn't working there. And I asked Danny, I said, hey, listen, and I saw one of my other partners who's a friend of ours working and helping and shadowing Danny. So I asked Danny, I said, hey, would you mind if I did the same? I'd love to work with you and just kind of see if the restaurant game is something that I'm interested in. And so he said, sure, no problem. Free labor. Who's going to turn that down, right? So I went, I did it for about, I'd say 4 months, I would say. And then I slowed down. I stopped going in every day, and then I would only go in so often, and then I stopped going altogether. And the reason being is, one, it was free. I just didn't, value it as much as I had once done. But the other thing was the clientele there And even the employees and staff there is a much different managerial job. They require much more attention than the job over at Green Rock. And those people there, the people there, very nice people, but it's a little bit of an older crowd. They expect a certain product, especially when they're paying that kind of money for their product, which is exactly what they should be doing. And it was very similar hours. So Green Rock's much later. Green Rock, you're probably finishing up around 4 a.m. on Friday and Saturday night, whereas SAKU, you're probably finishing up around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and you're out of there. So it's just a different place. But the customers expect a certain product. And when they can't get that, they complain. And when I just got out of Major League Baseball, I didn't, used to people waiting on me, and now I'm the one, fielding complaints from tables. That was just not my thing. Going up to tables and talking to them, that was just not my thing. None of that was my thing. So I didn't enjoy it very much. I just didn't. I liked when my partner was around, Danny. That was fun, have a drink with him, and talk about this stuff and learn a little bit. But the staff complained constantly. Whether it's the kitchen wanting more money, or the servers not happy with this, or complaining about how many people are complaining, and the servers being because the servers are who are front of line. So the servers are who are taking the brunt of it from the customer on whatever the complaint might be. So they go back, they're frustrated with the kitchen, and the kitchen's frustrated with them because I'm sure the server screwed up. It's like one thing after the other. And then as a manager, you were supposed to manage that. Manage your kitchen and let them know that this is how this is supposed to work, and manage that relationship so that the servers and the kitchen can coincide and get along. So it's just a very interesting dynamic over there. And it really just was not for me. I hate soft people. That's like a big thing of mine. And I remember one day, talking to the staff, and the one at my GM at the time was talking to me about, maybe we'd like to cut down costs here. She's trying to make us more money, and that's fantastic. Because we have another partner that's very hands-on about labor and all that stuff. So she's like, well, the kitchen's the most expensive thing. So I was having a conversation with these people, just talking to them, suggesting things, and I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm very open about that. Now, next thing you know, I'm getting a call. Oh, they felt disrespected, Pat. Blah blah blah. I was like, I'm done with this. I don't get paid anything, and I can't have a conversation. And they're feeling disrespected. Oh, give me a break. I cannot take that. If you're going to work for me, and this is why when I go do things now, I try not to take minority stakes in things. I want bigger stakes in places, because if you're going to work for me, if I'm going to be I'll take a minority stake at a place I'm not hands-on, that's fine. But if I'm going to be hands-on, if I'm going to take a big stake in it, because I'm not going to have a partner or someone tell me that I can't have a conversation with someone and they're felt disrespected. Oh, give me a break. Grow up. You're supposed to be an adult. You're asking for more money to begin with. And now I'm asking, maybe we see if we can cut here. Maybe we can see if we can cut here. Like, trying to keep everyone happy. And you feel disrespected? Oh, go home, man. Honestly, go home. And it was very, very frustrating to me to receive that call. And I dealt with it with how I would typically deal. I was a minority partner there. I was working for free. And my partner asked me not to do these things anymore. So I said, all right, I won't. And then I just left. I'm not immediately. Like, I just kind of tracked off. Like, I was like, well, if I can't ask questions and have conversations, then, the other part of it, I had learned. I'd seen, I had done. It was this back part that I still needed learning on. And I was asked to stop doing that. So I left, which is, what it is. And I had no ill will towards the partner. He has to do what he's got to do. He's got to manage his restaurant. He's got not just me to worry about. He's got the staff to worry about. He's got the kitchen to worry about. He's got his other partners to worry about. Like, He's got to make sure this all, runs smoothly, which it never does in a restaurant, obviously, in any business. So he's got to manage to run smoothly. So he approached me very respectfully, and I just had to ask me. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I get that. And I'm just going to step back a little bit and go see what else I can do. It would have been very helpful to be able to do that, because when I bought Green Rock a year later, I was learning all of that on the fly. And I had no background in it. Not to mention, like I've always told you guys, going to school full time, all that, and then going into a pandemic. Ooh, that's tough. But the one thing that I learned specifically from there is that if you're going to work with me, the one thing I cannot handle, one thing mainly, is disrespect. Do not ever disrespect me. I will never disrespect you. I'm pretty easygoing. But the other is, I cannot handle soft people. Don't complain to me about conversations. Don't complain to me. Especially if you're not my partner. I'll definitely talk to you. I'll definitely talk to you and have a conversation about maybe something you didn't like or something like that, and go about things different ways. I have no problem with that. I'm gonna respect you. Just because you're not a partner or an owner of mine, like a partner of mine or an owner, like I'm not gonna just disrespect you blatantly. But you gotta be able to have the conversation. And if you can't have the conversation, I don't want you working for me. So what I learned in that scenario is that if I'm going to be a majority stake, if I'm going to be a hands-on person, one, I got to be a majority stake. I got to be able to pull whatever I want and be able to do whatever I want. But the other thing is I can't, under no circumstances can I have soft people working for me. And we don't at Green Rock. We have some, but most people, one, you make good money over there, so they're going to be a little bit better. But at the same token, like, we got workers over there. With the exception of a couple, like, we had people over there busting their balls day in and day out. Like, almost, everyone this past weekend was crushing it, trying to do everything good. We had people take on roles that when they walked into the front door, they didn't even know they were going to exist on Saturday and Sunday. We had one guy who was supposed to be a helper. We had groups of tables, and we have two servers assigned. So it's like a main server and a supporter, and they just pretty much just do the same job, but you just help each other. We had to take one of those supporters away from that person, and then reassign them to seating people and making sure there's communication between the host and the tables and all of that. So that person lost the host. This person's doing a brand new job they've never done before. But it all made work. Of course, there were some complaints, obviously, but we made it work. We made it happen. And that's what I love about the staff over at Green Rock, is they're going to complain, they're going to bitch, they're going to moan, typical stuff, but they're going to make things happen. And when you're doing, and the things that I like to try to tell people and try to impress upon people is that we don't have time for you to complain. I don't have time for that. All right? When you come and complain to me at the bar, like, if you're a customer, I have to listen to you. Most of the times in my head, I'm like, you're an idiot. But you have to be able to make adjustments and move. Don't sit around. Don't maybe and try to think about what the best solution is, because there was a SEAL, I think I told you guys this last episode, there was a Navy SEAL that taught us in spring training that said that the guy who he was the best commander in his view, because he was going to make 6 decisions before the other guy would make one. And maybe that other guy's first decision was right. Maybe he's 1 for 1, but he's going to get to the right decision quicker because he's constantly making decisions and correcting course. Almost like those guided missiles, they talk about that constantly in baseball. The guided missile does not go and it just knows the exact path right when it gets out of the the submarine or the fighter jet, whatever. It's constantly correcting course, making adjustments the entire way, and it gets to where it needs to go. And that's what I need out of my staff. I need that out of my staff. And at SAKU, I'm sure they are there now, that we have a pretty good manager over there right now who's very hands-on and tougher than I am. But that's what we have at Green Rock right now. You're never going to avoid all the complaints from the employees. The employees are going to complain. That's just part of the business. But don't come to me about high school drama. Don't come to me about little stuff. If I say something, do it. Just get the job done. I'm paying you. Get it done. I don't have time for everything. I got other stuff to do. These people think that I'm just there, watching and drinking Jameson shots with people. In reality, I'm probably on the phone with the police department trying to figure out exactly what it is. I got the mayor texting me saying he needs this or he needs that, and make sure we adjust this. I'm looking over the bouncers, I'm looking over the service staff, I'm looking over the host, I'm looking over the line, talking to customers. I don't have time for the little things. Make a decision, move on it. I trust them. I've hired them for a reason. Make these decisions and move. And again, Green Rock staff is just tremendous at that. But that is one of the things I took away from my experience at SAKU, which was about 5-month experience, is that complaints are going to happen, but some of the little stuff can't be big deals. I can't get calls from partners on little stuff. And if I am, you're not for me. I still like those guys as people. They're phenomenal people. Love to sit down and have a drink with them. They're really cool guys. But if they're going to get this butthurt over the little stuff, what happens when the big stuff comes? What happens when I got to sit down and tell you, we don't have room for you, or we don't have room for the salary that you're asking for. Oh, you're asking for this, this, and this. I got none of it for you. What happens then? How much bitching and moaning is going to happen then? And I can't have that at a restaurant, not if I'm going to run it successfully. So, that's it. That's my story from SAKU. SAKU was a short window. It was great. I'm telling you, if you're in town, go do it. It's a well-oiled machine now. Keep in mind, though, this 4 or 5 months was the first 4 or 5 months they were open, so it was clunky. You're trying to figure some stuff out. While I'm still trying to learn the restaurant business, because it's my first 4 months in the restaurant business. Thankfully, I had Danny Gray, who is as a well-oiled machine as it gets in the restaurant business, as far as concepting and being able to run the place. And then we had some guys on the finance side that was good at managing the books and making sure that things are running smoothly there. But it's a phenomenal sushi restaurant. You should really go check it out. Please let me know if you do. It's called SAKU, SAKU. It's on 10th and Park in Hoboken, New Jersey. If you're one of my favorite shows ever, Scrubs. I forget his name. I forget his actor's name, and I forget the name of the show. But he was Remember the Titans. God, I can't remember. But he lives in Jersey City. It's his favorite restaurant in Jersey City or Hoboken, and he goes all the time. So it's a great place. You'll enjoy it. And then again, best night you can have in Hoboken. Go to SAKU for dinner and at Green Rock. And enjoy your night there. Have a few too many beverages like I usually do, and call it quits. But anyway, guys, I'm recording this on Friday, so make sure I get it out on Mondays now. Because of how busy the weekends are. We're going into weekend 2 here in Hoboken at Green Rock. So I know you guys aren't going to listen to this, so hopefully I did well. I will make sure I update you guys on Thursday at 5 a.m. as always. About how it went and tell you what we got going on for this weekend. Hopefully I don't have to tell you that any of the cops showed up or the town or anything like that, but you never know in this town. So I appreciate you all guys listening. Make sure you guys leave a 5-star review. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you do all of those things. And until next time, guys, I'll see you at the bar.